Well, we continue our coverage of the latest case of censorship in the American media. Jesse Ventura's article on the events of September 11th was banned by the news website, the Huffington Post. For more on this, we're joined live by RT's Anastasia Churkina from New York, who sat down to discuss the issue with Ventura himself. Anastasia, the Huffington Post deemed Ventura's article a little too controversial, and we've actually posted this article on RT's website. Was what Jesse Ventura wrote really that explosive?
Well, Christine, this article was really more asking questions than making any statements that could have been deemed explosive. The name of this article was What Really Happened on September 11th, with a question mark. And this article basically talked about this newest group of people, about 1,000 architects and engineers that recently got together to sign yet another petition to call yet again for a new investigation into the events of 9/11. What they're asking them and Jesse Ventura in his article is, how is it even possible that 200,000 tons of steel just collapsed onto the ground in a matter of seconds? And they're asking the question, could it have been a controlled demolition? Jesse Ventura includes several excerpts of his newest book, which is called American Conspiracies, Lies, Lies, and Dirty Lies That the Government Won't Tell Us. Basically, he says no other such skyscraper of such height and magnitude could have gone down, has ever gone down in history like that, and been affected like that just because of a fire damage. And what he's doing is asking questions and providing several documents that talk about scientific findings related to the events of 9/11.
And Anastasia, from what I understand, his article actually was posted on the Huffington Post website for a little while, maybe a few hours, and then taken down. Were you able to get any explanation by these news editors who banned the article, or did it just sort of go away?
Well, you're absolutely right, Christine. It was posted on the front page of the Huffington Post, and then just kind of disappeared into thin air. You put it absolutely perfectly. It was there, then it was gone. And the reason that was given by the Huffington Post was a small editorial note that they left in the place of the article, basically saying that they do not want to cover conspiracy theories. It's part of their editorial policy not to cover conspiracy theories, including theories about 9/11. That's what they said.
And you were actually able to talk to Jesse Ventura last night to ask him about this. How is he reacting to this?
Well, Christine, we all know he's a man who doesn't mince his words too much, and he was pretty blunt when he reacted to this latest ordeal. Let's take a look at what he had to say. Your article on September 11th appeared on the front page of the news website, the Huffington Post, only to promptly be removed. What do you think that was? Why did that happen? Fear, censorship?
Yeah. I can't believe the Huffington Post today will practice censorship. They asked me to be a contributing editor, and they said, write about anything you want. So it was the second time I did something, and they removed it. Well, I got news for them. I won't ever write for him again, and I know Ms. Huffington's always asking me, oh, you got to write for my paper, you got to write for it. Well, I got news for her. She just got her last article. I won't do a thing with the Huffington Post because I don't like it when people censor what I have to say.
Well, there you have it. Jesse Ventura was pretty shocked, and he told us that nothing like this has ever happened to him before, Christine.
You know, it looks like almost 10 years after September 11th, just questioning the official version of the story of what happened has its limits. What do you think about this?
Well, basically what we've been seeing is that throughout these last years, more and more people have really been getting involved in the movement. We've seen more public figures get involved and ask questions about what happened on that day of September 11th. All of these people questioning they always insist that they're not making any conclusions. All they want to know is answers to the questions that they have. And we've been really seeing, the mainstream media, for example, really trying to avoid these issues. We've seen anchors and presenters really starting to fidget when they have guests coming on who want to talk about 9/11. And we also got a comment from Jesse Ventura about the mainstream media when it comes to 9/11. Let's take a listen. Accused of scandalizing the events of 9/11. Can you sum up your position for us, and what do you say to those people who don't agree with what you say?
Scandalize it? All I do is ask questions. In this country, has it gotten, and that's what bugs me about 9/11. 9/11's an event you're not allowed to ask a question about.
Why do you think this topic is off limit?
Because clearly they don't want any questions on it. You know, right away, if you question what they told you about 9/11, they throw onto you you're unpatriotic. Well, I don't fear that.
Well, Christine, and of course Jesse Ventura is far from the only person out there in the United States who has these questions and feel like every time they're asked, they get attacked. That's what people have been telling us a lot, is that they get a very negative response, even if they want to slightly question the official version of what happened.
And Anastasia, I'm just kind of putting all the pieces together. I mean, we saw this documentary, Loose Change, from a ways back that came out that really questioned and perhaps even insinuated that it may have been an inside job, September 11th. And then we have, you know, some momentum gaining in this movement, like Ventura says, just to ask questions. Let's do another investigation. We have the conference that RT covered, I think it was last week, where you have more than 1,100 architects and engineers questioning this. Do you think that Jesse Ventura kind of getting on board with this movement is going to change things? Do you think he's going to gain some followers?
Well, you know, Christine, Jesse Ventura does have a lot of followers. He has actually been part of the people calling for 9/11 truth for quite some time now. So, you know, it's not like he actually said anything very new to him in this article. He was basically continuing to demand information. And like you said, even though this movement has existed for 10 years, it's kind of hard to tell whether or not a new investigation will be launched. Many people don't think this is going to be happening anytime soon. Even with such public figures like Jesse Ventura and others calling for it, they're saying the current government is way too cautious to even consider launching a new investigation into September 11th.
All right, Anastasia Churkina joining us from our New York studio. And the full version of her interview with Jesse Ventura, focusing on this story and many other controversial topics, will be broadcast right here on RT next week.